All right, David Delgado here, President and CEO with Freedom Choice Lending. I've got some great information, especially after the Feds announced a rate cut. Wouldn't you want to know what's kind of happening with the interest rates and how this really impacts mortgage rates? Stay tuned. Please don't forget to subscribe today. Click on the subscribe button so that way you'll be alerted for any future videos as well. Well, a lot of times before the Feds announce these rate cuts, these mortgage bankers, they've already anticipated a lot of times where the rates are going. So we started seeing rates decrease weeks ahead of time. And then after the rate cut, we see the rates kind of spike up. This is very normal. But then we're probably going to see them settle down because based on the preliminary reports that we're receiving from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they are anticipating that the rates kind of dip down over the next 12 months or so. But keep in mind, there's no guarantee that the rates are going to come down. As a matter of fact, a lot of times over the last 4 or 5 years, every time Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac says that the rates are going to come down, they actually went up. In 1 month, I saw them go up by 1 percentage point, and it really can impact the home buyers that are buying houses by actually paying more money on the home, especially over the long time. Well, the great thing about buying a house, though, is you're not tied into that interest rate forever, right? You can always refinance down the road. So keep that in mind. On our blog, we have more information about where the current interest rates are at. So click on the link below, and it'll take you right to the blog to give you the most up-to-date information. Here's some key factors that are developing on home buyers and that they should watch, right? Recently, UWM, which is the largest mortgage wholesale lender, they only deal directly with wholesale brokers like myself, and they've announced where they're giving an incentive of $500 for homeowners that are qualified for these refinances, and that means because they have a reduction in the track title review process, saving clients quite a bit of money, right? As of right now, they're saving about $1,295. So $1,295 in savings just on using Track. Track is revolutionizing the marketplace. They're the first lenders out there that I know about that are actually utilizing a Track system, and it's saving time and also money for the consumer. So this is something that's, the president and CEO over there at UWM came up with, and they're actually first ones that I know about implementing it to save the consumer money on these refinances. And then as of yesterday, they just announced this $500 incentive for qualifying refinance transactions. On the purchase side of things, if you give us a call, we'll give you a $250. It's a voucher, so it's good for up to 12 months. After we do a mortgage plan for our clients, we provide that with no cost, no obligation. But it is something that can be used towards purchasing a house. But in the meantime, with UWM, we're going to automatically pass on that savings to you as well. So if you're thinking about refinancing, give us a call at the office. Phone number is 866-587-6927. And this is a great way to reduce, the closing costs and out-of-pocket expenses during refinancing or buying a home. So just recently, they've talked about these further rate cuts. And, again, the Feds has been down this road before. If they do any rate cuts, do we really see that they're going to really impact the mortgage rates? I'd probably say probably not your typical 30-year fixed mortgage. You're probably not going to see much of a difference there. These rates could impact if you're getting a home equity line or credit cards, things like that. I see more of the impact on those types of loans versus a 30-year fixed mortgage. But if there was a substantial rate cut, maybe there might be some lowering of the mortgage rates. But we'll see. Time will tell. We'll see what happens in the next 60 days. Right now, we're seeing actually with UWM, there's a lot of capital and growth plans for UWM. The parent company tapped the markets at $1 billion in senior notes. And that means, what does this mean to you is that they are buying up more market share today, right? Right now, as of we speak, they're taking in loans at the higher conforming loan amount limits at 819,000 for a 1 unit conventional loans, ahead of the scheduled, right? So ahead of scheduled of where all the other lenders are actually scheduled to start taking these types of transactions, basically, or these types of loans. So UWM is already taking in these types of loans. And what this means to you is that you're actually going to be getting a lower interest rate as a result of that, right? So that means if you're maybe looking in that price range and it exceeds today's conforming loan amount limit, well, with UWM, we're going to be able to still get you that conforming pricing, which is a lot lower than a jumbo pricing. The great thing with working with us is we're going to be able to price out jumbo pricing if you fit in that category, as well as conventional pricing, and really see which one's best for you. We'll compare them side by side, and that way we can get you the best loan that fits your current situation. So why these trends matter for home buyers? Well, as you know, savings is really important. That means we have to have loans that can operate very efficiently, and that's why we can close loans under 14 days. So as long as we can close loans faster, that makes it more affordable for the clients, right? Faster speed is more efficient. I remember, when we used to ship everything out by UPS, right, or FedEx, and nowadays everything's getting shipped by directly from Amazon. It's cheaper, it's faster today than ever before. So everyone knows that speed always wins, right? And because of that, the same thing in mortgages, speed always wins. When we close loans under 14 days, you're just more likely to get your offer accepted and beat out other buyers to the best new listing. So speed wins. On top of speed, you're going to get lower cost financing, right? You get better rates, you get better closing costs. You're going to save on money on that. And we don't have to rate lock a loan for 30 days. We can lock in a loan for 15 days. The longer the lock period, the more it costs to borrow that money, right? They're locking in that time period. So just imagine if somebody would rate lock you for 60 days versus 15 days like us over here, who's going to be paying more for that loan? The person that rate locks for 60 days versus someone like us for 15 days, because we've really designed a system to close loans extremely fast. So I think that's a huge benefit for our clients, the consumers. And then on top of that, you can beat out other buyers to the best new listings. We have a network of 200 wholesale lenders, right? And UWM's in there, and we're always comparing pricing and making sure that we're using the best lender for that particular loan. And then we can go over the benefits and maybe one lender over the other lender after discussing this with the clients, and let them choose, figuring out which is the best loan for them. So there's a lot of reasons why people today are choosing a mortgage broker versus a direct lender. Like, which one is better? Did you realize that there's differences between the two? 100%, right? So main reason I think why brokers, people choose a broker is because we just have more products to choose from, right? Where if you go to a direct lender or a bank, you're very limited on what they offer because they're only offering services that they can provide. Whereas companies that are brokers, they offer, they have relationships with these wholesale lenders, and that means they can shop that loan around and find the best loan, right? Not just based on interest rates, but also qualifying. How many times where we hear about that, they're in escrow, right? Clients in escrow, and it's falling out of escrow, and they're working with XYZ bank or direct lender. Now they have troubles because, I'll just say, tax returns, right? Something in the tax returns is throwing this loan off, right? And we're dealing with percentages to get these loans qualified. So I've seen even people with high FICO scores fall out of escrow and put their deposit at risk. And that's a big concern for me, for consumers out there when you work with the bank, right? We offer a lot more flexibility, and I think that's a huge positive benefit for, the consumer, right? Which is our clients. And that makes a huge difference because now not only that we're able to close loans faster, but we have the flexibility of that. And also we can compare pricing so we can shop that loan around. So we're going to give you access to the special pricing. Whereas banks, they're just tied into their own set of guidelines, rules, regulations, pricing. So we have a lot more flexibility when it comes to that area. I think another reasons why our clients would choose a broker versus a bank is because, we're just more hands-on, right? We're kind of like doctors. We just work around the clock. We don't have banker hours. We work around the clock. And on top of that, we're very transparent. We're very hands-on. And we're just working behind the scenes to make sure that you guys get the best financing. So this personalization of guidance I think is really important, especially when you're buying a home. If you bought a home in the past, well, things have changed over time, right? Mortgages have changed, guidelines changes, restrictions changes in terms of getting mortgages. So this gives you more peace of mind while you're in escrow. Again, speed, the faster you close this loan, the better off you are. Most banks take around 21 to 30 days to close a transaction, which buying a home can be a little stressful. So think about that. Like, would you have more peace of mind if you're working with a broker that can close loans under 14 days, knowing that from start to finish, you're completely done. You can put that behind you, and now you can just focus on moving into the house, right? So I think speed and communication has a lot of impact of that. It can impact the benefit, right, of peace of mind. That's something that you can't even pay for. I haven't been able to buy peace of mind in my life, but when I can surround myself with great people that give me peace of mind that I can rely on and trust, then I think that's the area that I prefer to go with. So I think speed and communications are very important, right? And also, like I was mentioning about the transparency, right? How we get paid, everything's transparent. Whereas banks, they kind of build it into the rate, so it appears maybe you're getting a better deal, but over the long haul, you're paying a lot more for that mortgage. Right. So some of those are the advantages and maybe disadvantages of broker versus banks that I just went over. And if you ever want to set up a clear mortgage plan, an appointment where we can go over prices, monthly payments, go over all the various closing costs, just reach out at the office. We'll go over all the details, make sure there's no surprises in the process. Just call us at the office. Phone number is 866-587-6927. And also check us out on the website. It's freedomchoicelending.com. And keep in mind, like, as we work with you, we're going to be following up with you and making sure there's no surprises, so that when you find that perfect home, you're not caught off guard. You're going to have confidence about buying that home. There's not going to be any surprises. Just give us a call at the office. Phone number again is 866-587-6927. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any comments or anything like that, please post below or reach out to us. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.